नमस्कार। आप सभी लोग अपने अपने घरों पर सकुशल होंगे। तो इसी कामना के साथ हम स्टार्ट करते हैं अपने नए लेसन, दैट इज़ द लेसन नंबर 8, द यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ, और वी कैन से द सेल, द बेसिक यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ. First of all, we have known that what about the cell. As you know, I think the basic structure and basic functional of the different cell organelles you all have already learned in your different classes also. If we talk about the cell, that generally the cell is also known as the fundamental structural and functional unit of all living organisms. We can say anything that is less than a complete structure of a cell does not ensure independent living. Means if anything is less than the cell one, that is not known as the living organism. Or we can say all living organisms, whether the plant or the animals, they all are made up of these cells. Or we can say according to the Anton van Leeuwenhoek first saw that describe these living cells. Means the term cell was introduced by a English scientist is known as Robert Hooke. Means the cell was generally discovered by the Robert Hooke. Right? If we can talk about that, on the basis of these cells, the different organisms can be found in different ways. Right? We can say the different organisms, if they consisting, they have to develop with the help of single cell, not more than one cell. Right? And or more than one cell. We can say on the basis of that, these animals can be classified in different categories. They may be unicellular, means which are composed with the help of one cell or single cell, or the multicellular, which are composed of many cells. So we can say the unicellular organism capable to independent existence, performing the essential functions of the life in the same single cell one. Right? So we can say it is, that's why. Evenly, if we can talk about the discovery about this one, in that particular condition, as we know that Mr. Robert Hooke in 1665, that he discovered about the cell. He coined this cell after by the slicing of the cork under his self-made microscope. But on the other hand, in 1672, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, he observed the bacteria, sperms and red corpuscles, all these with the help of another one. Evenly in 1831, Robert Brown, he observed that all the cells have the central positions body, which is known as the nucleus over there. So if we can talk about that, what about the cell, means if we talk about what is cell, or we can definition of cell, we can say the molecules as a busy in the reactions in the release of the uptake to energy and protoplasm of the cell limited by the membranes. Means generally these all type of cells have the major three components, that is we can say cell membrane, cytoplasm and DNA naked in the prokaryotes, and it can be covered in the eukaryotes. So we can say in these all different organisms it is really found over there. Right? Or we can say the major plant cells have in their cytoplasm large vacuoles containing non-living, including like the crystals and pigments over there. Right? So according to them, the different scientists have given the different theories according to them. Means if we talk about the cell theories, generally according to Scledion and Szechuan in 1839, they can, in their papers, according to them, they just investigated, they given that the microscopic investigations on the similarities of the structure and growth in animals and plants. So according to them, he explained that all organisms are composed of one or more cells. According to them, he also say the cells are basic living unit within the organisms, and the chemical reactions of the life take place within the cells. Evenly, the all cells are arise from the pre-existing cells by the division and or the not from de novo. Evenly, in 1855, the German medical doctor Rudolf Virchow, he observed under the microscope cell dividing. He reasoned that all cells come from the other pre-existing cells by the cell divisions over there. Evenly, in the different ways, the different theories are given. According to Ernest Haeckel in 1866, he established the another thing. He established the another nucleus store the transmit heredity. Means he explained the cell theory was modified accordingly and was renamed as the doctrine or the cell principles according to the Ernest Haeckel. Modern cell theory includes the different features, especially we can say according to the modern cell theory, they have the different features in them. We can say the cell is the fundamental unit of structure and function in the living organism. Evenly, the new cells are arises from the pre-existing cells through the division, right? And all new cells contain the same amount of the degree of the genetic information and contained in the parental cells. Evenly, we can say the energy flow occurs within the cells, and cell contain heredity informations, DNA, which is passed from the cell to cell by the cell division. Or we can say all the cells are basically are the same, and chemical composition of them in the same species over they are found evenly, right? Evenly, if we talk about the modern cell theory, include the different features. Mean according to some on more modified cell theories are over there, right? We can say that the all non-living things made up of the one or more cells, and some organisms are made up to of are made up to only one cell and known as the unicellular, and which are more than one cell they are on the multicellular, and unicellular are known as single cell organism also. And on the other hand, as I have told you that some multicellular organisms. So on the basis of this, the activity of the organism depends on the total activity of independent cells, means how many cells which through which the organisms are made up of. So these activities are denoted over there. At least we can say depending upon the specific requirement of the cell get modified, what we can say elongated in the muscles, nerve cells, loss of the nucleus, right, and in the RBCs and cytoplasm in the our skin, so on. So this way these are the different conditions through which we can say they are found over there in the different bodies or different conditions. Later on, if we talk about the main thing, that is the number, size and shape of the cells. If we talk about the number of the cells, especially in different organisms, the unicellular organisms, the bacteria, yeast, chlamydomonas, diatoms, cosmemium, they have the generally have the one cell. But on the other hand, if we talk about the most of the organisms and plants and animals, they have the multicellular, means human body built up of the more than 1 trillion cells. So we can say in case of the unicellular, single cell capable to independent existence and to perform all the essential life processes, life functions of which are necessary for the life. Especially if we can talk in a green alga, that is Panadornia, and the Coenobium, it having the fixed number of cells, that is we can say 8, 16 or 32. These colonies like Volvox, Nostoc, and have the many cells enclosures of the mucilaginous set. The multicellular organisms made up of the many cells, different cells become specialized performing different functions. Evenly we know that the cells are grouped into the tissue, and tissue into the organ, and organ into the organ system, and organ system together to form an organism, constituting with the help of the number of cells, as we can just see over there, right? So you can see that there is some multicellular and some unicellular over there. And if we talk about the size of the cells, especially the cells exhibits an endless variation in the life span as well as the size and the cellular activities. If we can talk about the mycoplasma, that is the smallest cell, that is known as the PPLOs or the pleuropneumonia like organisms, especially in the only 0.3 micrometer in the length, and bacteria approx 3 to 5 micrometer in size, especially. So we can say especially smallest cell, that is we can say that is especially mycoplasma, right, that is 0.1 micrometer. Bacteria you say that is 10 times smaller than the animal cells, right? So these are found over there. So on the basis of this it can be found. On the other hand, we can say the ostrich egg, which is known as the largest isolated single cell measures, that is 170 to 135 millimeter in human RBC cells, that is 7 micrometer in diameter, and the nerve cells of the human being is longest cell having that is length of then 90 to 100 centimeter means approx 1 meter, it is found over there. So these are different cells which can be found in different ways according to their size in the different cells, right? So you can understand about this one. So this way we can say that comparative study about all these cells which can be found, just as I have told, atoms to the blue whale over there, right? After that we have to talk about the cell shape, right? Means how the different shapes of the cells are found over there. Basically we can say the cells are vary in their shapes, means they can be in different shapes, structures are found over there. So they may be the polygonal, disc like, hemivoid, thread like, cuboid, irregular, and so on. The different shapes can be found over there, as you can see in the diagram. If we talk about the red blood cells, they are round and biconcave structure. White blood cells, they are the amoeboid structures found over there. If we talk about the columnar epithelial cells, they are long and narrow. If we talk about nerve cells, there is a branched and long. And if we talk about the tracheids, that is elongated. If we talk about mesophyll cells, they are round and oval shape. So means these are the different shapes of the cells are found in different organisms in different parts, right? So let's move to talk about directly on the main topic, that is the types of cells. If we talk about the types of cells, generally Dorothy in 1957 classified the cells into two categories, that is the prokaryotic, means the pre meaning primitive nucleus are found, and the eukaryotic, generally which can be shown the true nucleus which are found over there. Means generally we can say the cells which can be possess the primitive type of the nucleus divide a nuclear membrane and prokaryotic cells. On the other hand, the eukaryotic cells are those which possess a true well organized nucleus having the typical chromosomes and the nuclear membrane. So this way the cells can be classified into two categories, that is the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell found over there, right? So if we talk about the prokaryotic cell, especially we can say the cell which do not have the nuclear membrane and the other membrane bound organelles are found over there, that they are known as prokaryotic cells over there, right? Especially if we talk about the occurrence where they are found, generally the prokaryotic cells are placed in the kingdom Monera, and these cells are represented by the bacteria, cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, mycoplasma, PLO, or we can say the bacteria, which are the smallest and most common type of organisms among the prokaryotes. They are generally smaller and the multiple more rapidly than the eukaryotic cell found over there, right? And we can say the bacteria are found in almost every place, like the deep in the soil and seawater and human intestine over there. If we talk about the size of these organisms, especially as we already talked about, that the normal range of this prokaryotic cell is, that is 0.3 to 1.5 micron millimeter within some special exceptions. If we talk about the shapes, generally these prokaryotic cells are in different shapes, like bacteria we can bacillus shape, rod-like structure, coccus spherical structure, vibrio coma structure, and the spirillum structure. Directly you can understand the different shapes of the bacteria, right? You all have learned about the coccus, bacillus, vibrio, and spirillum. These are the different suffix which can be also give there on the basis of this shape. If we can talk about the component, the different components of the prokaryotic cells, generally we can say that all prokaryotic cells are similar in their organizations, although they can exhibit in vary to their shapes. Evenly we can say these cells can have some specific structure that you can say, especially the composed of the various components like the genetic material, cell envelope, cytoplasm, nucleoid, nucleation bodies, ribosomes, flagella, pili, and memory, so on. If we talk about the cell envelope and the modifications, especially in the prokaryotic cells, they have some specific structure over there, right? Then we have to talk about the cell envelope and modification of these structures over there, right? So we have to know that generally These prokaryotic cells have the different envelopes in the outermost covering protoplasm of the bacterial cells. We can say it is known as the protect cell from the mechanical shock and the injuries. Only they have composed the three layers which can be performed as special functions. The first we can say that is mucilase sheath, means that is glycocalyx, which is found over there. So especially this glycocalyx structure, especially in the bacteria, we can say it is the outermost layer made up of the macromolecules that gives the strictly characters of the cells, and the glycocalyx differs in the compositions of the thickness among the different bacteria. It could be in the form of the lows, the mucilase sheath called the slim layer, and thick and through a covering that is called capsules. Generally it can be always help for the resisting the phagocytosis. The second layer, that is the cell wall found over there, right? So this cell wall present just below the glycocalyx, made up of the peptidoglycan or the murin. It can be all eubacteria and cyanobacteria. It is rigid and solid covering, gives shape and strong structural support of these cells. This cell wall can be performed different functions in this category. Especially it can help to providing the cell from the bursting of the collapsing, as well as it can also allow the material to pass in and out from the cell, and it works the attack the pathogens like the virus, bacteria, fungi and pathogens. Evenly provide the mechanical support of the cells to the gravity also, right? Evenly we can say these are some more structures over there. Especially they may be, sometimes we can say they are the gram positive or gram negative. What is this gram positive and gram negative? So many times we can be just hear about this gram positive and gram negative thing about their cell walls, right? Especially according to Christian's gram, right? In 1884 he given the reactions of the cell wall with different bacteria. So he given these names over there. Means generally these bacteria can be classified on other categories, that gram positive and gram negative. Especially the gram positive, we can say that these bacteria can take up the gram stain and retain blue purple color. So especially the Bacillus stabilis and the Clostridium, they are the gram positive one. And those which do not take this gram staining, means they do not get these dyes blue color, lose their blue colors, like the Escherichia coli and Acetobacter, they are known as gram negative over there. So sometimes this can be also found over there. Then there is another thing that is called the plasma membrane. Means especially if we talk about the plasma membrane, in the innermost layer of the cell envelope, it can be semi-permeable in the nature of responsible for the interaction of the cells with the outside of the environment. And this plasma membrane can play a very important role there, that it can be always help in the regulation of the exchange of the specific materials between the cytoplasm and extracellular medium, and selectively permits the particular molecules to pass and prevent the other one. Evenly this semi-permeable membrane can also prevent the loss of the components from the cell through the leakage, and it can be also help for the vital to the cellular homeostasis, means maintaining of the temperature, maintaining of the chemical composition inside the cell. It can be always help for different ways, that welfare of the all living organisms, right? And if we talk about the genetic material, especially in the prokaryotic cells, there may be some other structures which can be found over there. So we have to talk about that one. So if we talk about the genetic material, especially in this one, so we can say the nucleotide represents the genetic material in case of the prokaryotes, that can be naked and do not have any envelope or any nuclear membrane. So we can say the bacteria contain a small circular DNA known as plasmid, other than the chromosomal genomic DNA. So this plasmid confirms the certain unique characters of the bacteria, like the antibiotic resistance and sex factor over there. If we can talk about some other things, that the membranous structures, generally the prokaryotic cells lack of the complex membrane-bound organelles such as chloroplast, mitochondria, and however some of these species can found in the mesosomes and the chromatophores found over there, right? So for that structures we have to know that how these chromatophores and this can be plays a role over there. If we talk about mesosomes, which is found in the layers, right? And that particular mesosomes, we can say that these mesosomes extensions of the plasma membrane into the cell in the form of the vesicles, tubules, and lamellae. Mesosomes are equal to the mitochondria in the eukaryotes, so their structures are participate in the aerobic cellular respiration in the prokaryotes also. If we talk about the function of mesosomes, generally mesosomes can be help in the respiration, cellular secretions. It can also help in the increasing the enzymatic content and the surface area of the plasma membrane. It can also help for the formation of the cell wall, help in the replication of the DNA and the distribution of the genetic material to the daughter cells during the fissions also. If we talk about the chromatophores, they are another membranes structure present in the prokaryotic that like the cyanobacteria, especially it can be always internal membrane system or the photosynthetic forms which can possess the photosynthetic pigments, and these pigments can light in the reflecting. There is another structure that is called flagella, right? Especially if we talk about flagella, that bacteria have the motile structures and non-motile, right? Thus the motile bacteria possess one or more thread-like appendages extending from their cell wall, that is called flagella or flagella. These are also classified according to the number of the arrangement of the flagellum in them, right? Each flagellum had at least 1 to 7 micron long, covered by a protein coat. Evenly we can say the bacteria flagellum in different into the following 3 different parts. They have the first, that is filament, hook, and basal body. So if we talk about this flagellum, they have the such structures over there. So directly we can say filament, that is the uppermost part of the flagellum, that longest portion extending from the cell surface and outside the made up of the protein, that is called flagellin, right? And hook, that is we can say the covered and tubular structure made up of the protein subunit, and basal body, that is most complex part of the flagellum which attaches. Especially we talk about the flagella functions, it can be always helpful for the locomotions, movement of the one place to another place to all these organisms. Evenly if we talk about the last, evenly most important thing, especially in the bacterial, that is pili or the fembri. What about this pili? Pili generally we can say there are also surface structures but not play any role in the locomotions of the bacteria. The pili are the elongated tubular structure which can be develop a special protein that is called the pilin. You must remember that the filament of the flagella, it is made up of the flagellin protein, and the pili, it can be developed with the pilin protein. And fembri, they are smallest bristles like the fibers coming out of the function. Generally this pili can help for the forming of the conjugations tube during the transfer of the genetic material between the donor and the recipient cell, while these the fembri help to bacteria to attach the solid surfaces over there. Then there is some more cell organelles, that is ribosomes or the inclusion bodies. Means we can say the cytoplasm in prokaryotes appear a granule due to the presence of these structures, that is called the ribosomes. If we talk about the ribosome, means generally like the eukaryotes, as we all have seen, the ribosomes found in prokaryotes or in eukaryotes also. So especially in prokaryotes, they can do a specific functions. We can say they can be X at size of the site of the protein synthesis. Means these ribosomes can be always help for the synthesis of the protein, or we can say ribosomes are small but complex both in structures and their chemical composition. They are another 15 to 20 nanometer in size, and in the prokaryotes ribosomes are found in associated with the plasma membrane of the cells, right? And in the cytoplasmic matrix, the prokaryotic ribosomes are at least, we can say, 17S type. It can be, there is two subunits, that is smaller subunit, that is 30S type, and the larger subunit, that is 50S type, one found over there. Evenly, we can say the ribosomes generally occurs in the helical groups called the polysomes or the polyribosomes. In the polysomes, 4 to 8 ribosomes are attached to single strand of messenger RNA, and the ribosomes to the polysomes help in the translations, means the synthesis of the protein, or the, you can say, the mechanism of the synthesis of several copies of same protein and messenger RNA into the protein. And the other part, that is inclusion bodies, are also generally, these are non-living structures present in the cytoplasm and not bounded by the membrane systems, and these inclusions may either lie free in the cytoplasm, we can say cyanophysin or granules, the glycogen granules, or may be covered by 2 or 4 nanometer thick non-protein membrane found over there. So we can say the gas vascular sulfur and the granules are found over there. So we have to know especially about this one. So you also just remember, the gas vacuoles are gas storing vacuoles that do not have any covering of their own. They are found in the cyanobacteria, especially in blue-green algae, the purple and green photosynthetic bacteria. And sometimes we can say that these are named so because of they are the permeable to the atmospheric gases but not to the water. So that's why they are known as gas vacuole, right, in that condition. So students, you must just memorize all these topics and prepare your notes. Later we talk about the second type of cells, that is eukaryotes, in our next lecture. Thank you.